have I got a lesson for you. It's showtime. Hi friends, I'm really excited about this lesson today. I did a little experiment of watching an American sitcom through the eyes of a non-native speaker. And what I found was there were at least 20 slang words, phrases, idioms that I could teach you from that one episode alone. So learning English from sitcoms is easier in some ways because a lot of times the English is easier and the dialogue, we call it ping pong, so it goes back and forth. One person speaks, another person speaks, another person speaks. And that makes it a little bit easier to follow. But on the flip side, sitcoms rely heavily on slang and jokes and taking slang and making their own slang from that slang. So sometimes the idioms you hear on sitcoms aren't even the way they're usually used because they change it or twist it, as we say in comedy writing. They twist it a little bit to make it more funny. And I'm not going to tell you what the show is yet because I want you to guess. At the end of the video, I'll give you some hints and I will let you guess. But I'll give you one hint now. It's not Friends. Let's go. It's showtime. It's showtime. Obviously, a television show or a theater show, the beginning of it, we say it's showtime. But it's often said to be funny when something is about to happen that might be strange or a character in the show has a plan and they're about to do that plan. They might say, it's showtime. It's kind of like saying, let's go. Let's do this. It's showtime.
Getting things done? Are you kidding? I'm just here to coast.
I'm here to coast. So, in this context, coast means take the easy way. For example, if you take a class just to coast, that means you took a really easy class just to get credit. Yeah, I'm just here to coast. I'm not here to learn. Another similar phrase is, oh, he's just coasting through life. Like, things are so easy for him. He's not trying very hard. Nothing bad happens. He's just coasting. He's just coasting along. This usually can have a negative connotation, but it depends on the person, right? They might think it's great. Oh yeah, I'm just coasting through this class. It could also mean that it's very easy, but not in a lazy way. Like, yeah, just coasting, just moving along, right? So coast, think of moving with very little resistance or trouble.
Bedhead.
Bedhead is literally when you've been sleeping all night and your hair is all messy from your bed. But for people with short haircuts, it can actually be a good thing. So that kind of tousled, cute, little bit messy, but not too messy hair that men or women with short hair can do is sometimes called bedhead. So, you've perfected your bedhead look. So it can be used literally as a bad thing, like your hair's a mess from sleeping, or it can be a sort of look that people use to be stylish. Okay, this next one isn't super common. Each part of this is common, but the way that it was put together on the show is somewhat unique. So the phrase goes,
I'm getting a major B-word vibe from you.
Major B-word vibe. Let's start with vibe. Vibe is the essence someone is putting off, like their personality or how you feel around them. Like maybe she has a really silly vibe or a really confident vibe. But if we have a B-word vibe, can you guess what the B word is? B-I-T-C-H. So this is a bad word. So this is not a good thing to say to somebody. If you have a B-word vibe, it means you're acting like a biatch. And major is just added there to emphasize it, right? It's to be even more funny. You're not just giving a B-word vibe, you're giving a major, big time B-word vibes.
I'm out.
I'm out. This can be used in a lot of different ways. It could just mean you're leaving, right? Like, see you guys, I'm out. But if it has a stronger connotation, it could mean that you're taking yourself out of a bad situation. Maybe your friends are about to do something illegal and you're like, whoa, guys, no, I'm out. I'm not doing this. So it could be, I'm leaving, I'm out, or I'm out of here. But if you say, I am out, another phrase is, I wash my hands of this, right? I don't want anything to do with this. I am out. There's so many uses for this phrase. It's a good one. If two people are arguing and they want to involve you in the argument, you can say, no, not me. I'm out. Like, I am not getting involved. I'm out.
Oh, you talk a good game, but can you really dance? No.
Talk a good game. Talk a good game is similar to bragging, right? She talks a good game, but the implication is it's all talk and no action. It's just talk, but when it comes down to it, they're not actually good at the thing they say they're good at. Maybe someone says, oh, I make so much money at my job, and then you find out they really don't. Or, oh, I know like 20 languages. Yeah, you talk a good game. Let's hear those languages. So it's someone that is, another phrase we use for this is all talk. They talk a good game, but there's really nothing there. This next one is super rude, but you will hear it. And it doesn't necessarily have to be rude. It depends on the situation and the person and their humor, but I would be very careful using this one. If you hear it, don't necessarily be offended, but I would warn you to be careful. So,
hey, no one gives a rat's ass. You got it? No one gives a rat's ass.
No one gives a rat's ass. Don't ask me where this came from or why, but it means I really, really don't care, and neither does anyone else. So you can say, I don't give a rat's ass, or she doesn't give a rat's ass, no one gives a rat's ass, like no one cares at all. I don't know why it's a rat's ass. English is so weird.
I really gotta drive home the point. They are just not getting it. In order to get better at English, you have to practice. Practice. Did I drive home the point well enough? Maybe you should watch some more videos and subscribe. Did I drive that point in enough? Am I beating a dead horse? Subscribe.
Drive home a point. So you might be familiar with the phrase, make a point, right? If you're trying to teach someone something, you're trying to make a point. When you drive home a point, think of that as the last part. You said this reason. I'm going to give one more reason to drive home that point, to make it really, really clear what my point of view is. I'm going to drive home this point. If you drive home the point too far, you might say you're beating a dead horse. But those are two different phrases. So beating a dead horse would only be if you've gone way past driving home the point. You've made your point and you've gone far past that point, and now we're so sick of talking about it, we don't want to talk about it anymore. You're beating the dead horse.
Do I like chocolate? Do I like chocolate? Have you met me? Have you met me? I love chocolate.
There are some types of phrases or idioms that are all in the delivery, how you say them. So for example, if you're saying this phrase genuinely, have you met Monica? Or have you met Johnny? That's genuinely asking, have you met her? Okay, I'm going to introduce you if you haven't met. But when it's said sarcastically, like, have you met me? Have you met John? It means you're asking a really silly question because it implies you don't know them. So in my example, say somebody who knows me would know that I love chocolate. So if they ask, do you want some chocolate? And I think that's a really silly question because of course I want chocolate. I say, have you met me? Yeah, I want chocolate. And so that can work for anybody. Oh, does Sarah want to go to the beach? Have you met Sarah? It could be that she doesn't want to go to the beach. The implication is you should know better than to ask that question. It's not mean unless you're trying to be mean. It can just be kind of funny. Like, have you met Sarah? Like, she hates the beach.
A $5? That won't cut it.
A $5 is a nickname we use for a $5 bill. So you wouldn't say it for 5 ones or any other bills, just a $5 bill. You could say, could I have a $5? Could I borrow a $5? If something won't cut it, that means it's not enough. This costs $15. A $5 is not going to cut it, but it can also be used in a lot of other contexts. It's a good try, but it's not going to cut it. It's just not going to cut it. It's not good enough. And it could be literally we don't have enough for something. There's 50 people coming to this party. 2 pizzas are not going to cut it.
What makes her think she has the right to tell me how to do my hair or what to wear? Who does she think she is?
Has the right. So I guess this one is a little more literal. You have your rights as a person. I have the right to clean water. I have the right to live in peace. But we use this phrase when we feel like someone has stepped over the line. There's another idiom. There are normal things that we have the right to say and do to each other. And if you think someone's acting in a way that's not okay, you can say, what gives her the right? Or what makes her think she has the right? You don't have the right to say that to me.
My dog won't come here. How can I draw her in? Oh, you want a treat? You want a treat? I drew you in with the promise of a treat.
Draw them in. Another way of saying this is pull them in. Get people interested. Entice them. For example, a trailer for a movie is meant to draw you in so you come see the movie. The beginning of a story is meant to be really mysterious so it will draw you in or pull you in. Draw them in.
I'm gonna seize the day. Oh, too cold. Too cold. I'll seize the day tomorrow.
Seize the day is similar to live in the moment. So seize means you take it, you grab it by force almost. Seize usually has a meaning like in war. I seize the town. I seize the goods, the money. But seize the day has a really positive connotation. It means live life to the fullest. Be in the now. Be in the moment. Seize the day. Go do something crazy. Go do something fun. Seize the day.
I'm trying here. Throw me a bone, all right? Could you throw me a freaking bone?
Throw me a bone. This is the same as the phrase, give me a break. So think about a dog that's begging for a bone and you give him a bone. So you can say, give me a bone, throw me a bone is more common. A lot of times, to be funny, people like to add extra adjectives in the middle of existing phrases. So throw me a bone, we can add, throw me a frickin' bone. I think that was in Austin Powers. Throw me a gosh darn bone. So you can add other things in there in the middle of that phrase. This works with a lot of other phrases too.
He's been cutting class. Oh, he is so busted. Ooh, he is in trouble.
Cutting. In this context, cutting class means you're skipping class or not going to class. So if you're cutting class, that means you're not going to class. If you're cutting work, it means you're not going to work. Literally, we know cutting is this. So think about skipping or cutting means taking that part out of your day. You're not going.
My dog's just sitting there, minding her own business. But I'm about to get all up in her business. Baby, I'm all up in your business. I'm all up in your business. All up in your business.
So this is kind of a funny phrase, very informal. The grammar obviously is not correct, but all up in my. So you might hear this with any number of words. So all up in my business, all up in my face, all up in my stuff. And the implication is that you're invading their space or their personal business. So my example with my dog, I was just being silly. Like a lot of these phrases, the delivery will determine if it's being said mean or harsh, or if it's being said playfully. If someone's trying to find out who you like, right, who you have a crush on, you might say, you're all up in my business, stop. And it'll be kind of playful. as opposed to like, you're all up in my face, get out of my face, right? That would be more confrontational.
Well, I guess if being an international superstar doesn't work out, I could just be a teacher as a fallback.
A fallback or a fallback plan, we also call it plan B, is the thing that if you don't succeed at what you really want, that's your plan B. So say you're saving up for a trip somewhere very expensive. You might have a fallback plan if you don't save enough money to get there for some place that's a little less expensive. So the fallback plan implies that it's your plan B, it's your second, third, or fourth choice.
He's 35 and he still lives at home? Dude, it is time to leave the nest.
Leave the nest? So think about a little baby bird. When they grow up, they have to leave their nest. So it's a metaphor for people leaving home when they grow up. That's why we say older couples whose children have gone off to college are empty nesters, or they have an empty nest. So their children leave the nest, and now they have an empty nest. You even hear empty nest syndrome, which is when the couple or the mom or dad is very sad that their kids are gone and they don't know what to do without their children around. So leave the nest.
Are you from Florida? I know a Floridian when I see one. I know an actor when I see one. Are you a musician? I know a musician when I see one.
I know something when I see one. It's kind of a way of relating to someone. It can be that you're recognizing something in yourself that you see in them. So for example, I'm an actor and I might be out in the world and see the way someone is behaving and I'll be like, are you an actor? And if they say yes, I can say, I know an actor when I see one. It can be used a lot for where you're from. Are you from Florida? I know a Floridian when I see one. Whatever it is you recognize in there, you know it when you see it.
I have been ignored for too long. I'm gonna get what's mine.
Get mine. Or I'm gonna get what's mine. It's kind of this implication that you haven't gotten what you wanted for a very long time. And you're finally gonna get what's yours. So it's a little bit greedy, a little bit selfish, but it also has this implication that it's not unfounded, that it's for a reason. If other people have been cheating, lying, stealing, and you think, oh, it's my turn, I'm gonna get what's mine. It implies this sense of justice or right and wrong versus get what's coming to you. You're gonna get what's coming to you is usually meant as a phrase about karma. So for example, someone does something really terrible to you, you say, you're gonna get what's coming to you. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get revenge, but you think somewhere in life that bad action is going to have consequences. Get what's coming to you. So it's all about justice, consequences, right? Get what's mine, that's justice. Get what's yours, that's about consequences, negative consequences for poor behavior. That's a wrap, folks. Please go home. So similar to It's Showtime, that's a wrap is a phrase that originally was used a lot for people in the entertainment industry, but now it can be used just to be funny, like, we're done, that's a wrap. Like, you're trying to get people out of your house from the party. That's a wrap, folks. Please go home. I hope you enjoyed this lesson and found it helpful. I'm going to wait a little while before I reveal what show these all came from, but leave your guesses in the comments. I want to hear what you all think. Remember, it's not Friends. I will give you a few more hints as to what sitcom this is. So all of the characters are in school, but it's not high school. And there's a diverse cast. And in the first season, they're studying Spanish. So I gave you a lot of hints. If you've seen it, you probably know. If you haven't seen it, a lot of people haven't seen it, then you probably have no idea. So if you want to know the answer, I will tell you the show, the season, and the episode where you can hear all of these if you send me a message. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Remember to like the video and hit subscribe so you see new videos like this first. Make sure to hit the bell so you get notified when I post a new English lesson. Keep practicing, friends.